Hey, and welcome back to another episode of 30 Days of Halloween with your host, Lena Pimentel. So, today we're going to do something a little different, along the same themes as yesterday. Uh, we're going to go through the top 10 ghost tours that you can do in Canada. So, whenever you get around to traveling again, um, if you're into this kind of thing. So let me pull up my browser here and let's go through the list. Now, if you've been interested in trying to catch these on time, I definitely recommend to subscribe and hit the notification bell for to be notified every time a new video gets uploaded. So let's go ahead and pull up this list, which I found on Reader's Digest. So let's see. Where are we? So many windows open, my goodness. And we closed it. So what's everybody up to? We finally decorated our outside, and we finally got the house completely all decorated too. Heavens. Here we go. Canada's 10 Best Ghost Tours. This article was written last October by Sara Cation. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I will leave the link to the post down below. And here we go. So, opening paragraph: gruesome murder, grisly executions, and cursed ground. There's nothing like a good story, and these great Canadian ghost tours are the best way to learn the torrid tales that history has tried to forget. So, the first one that made on their list is in Toronto, and it is called Muddy York Walking Tours. In the dark, cavernous interior of Toronto's McLaughlin Planetarium lurks the ghosts of a 7-year-old girl who's terrified employees since the building first opened in the 1960s. Nicknamed Celeste, the apparition is apparently the spirit of a girl who died in a house that stood on the site before the planetarium was built. Her presence has permeated the building through its many iterations, from children's museums to storage facility. Seen flitting down hallways and blamed for moving items and throwing toys at employees, the attention-starved little girl's laughter echoes about. While the guests of the Muddy York Walking Tour, a ghost tour that focuses on the University of Toronto and its surrounding neighborhoods, can't enter the planetarium, many have reported seeing Celeste through the building's glass doors, which have been known to rattle of their own volition. Okay, so I'm originally from Toronto. How is it I have never heard of this place? So if my sister watches this, we gotta do this. We really do. Number 2, ghost tours in Victoria, BC. I believe that's where it is. Founded by historian John Adams, Victoria's Ghostly Walks tour follows phantoms' footsteps through the back alleys and historic buildings in the city's oldest district. The tour reaches a creepy climax at the former jail and Supreme Court in the infamous Bastion Square. The 1889 building is apparently teeming with spirits of the condemned, and Sir Matthew Bailey Begbie, named the hanging judge, trolls the hallways searching for the criminal to sentence. If that's all he does, you can count yourself lucky. Reports of people feeling pinned against the wall in the building's antique elevator and uncanny sense of being forced down the staircase have attracted ghost hunters near and far. Well, that's just creepy AF. The next one is in Hamilton, and I'm going to guess Hamilton, Ontario, possibly, unless there's another Hamilton here in Canada. This one, Ghost Walks and Dark History Tours, the Hermitage Ruins. What do you get when you combine forbidden love, a broken heart, and the shell of a mansion in the middle of a forest? I don't know, perfect gothic story. The perfect ingredients for a great ghost story, of course. Some say Hamilton's Hermitage Ruins are haunted. Others call them cursed, but all visitors to the site agree it's eerie and unnerving. That's likely thanks to the ghost of William Black, a coachman who hung himself after being prevented from marrying the mansion's owner's niece. When you first spot the ruins rise out of the darkness, the Hermitage ruins ghost tours have been granted special permission to access the site. The coachman's haunting heartbreak is palpable. So palpable, in fact, that even animals reportedly have a sixth sense for spiritual activities tend to steer clear. Ooh, haven't heard of that place either. Our next one is from Ottawa, Ontario. Haunted Walks Incorporated, the original Haunted Walk of Ottawa. Why is Ottawa's First Teachers College now a stop on this popular lantern-lit ghost tour? It might have something to do with the fact that one security guard swore he'd never work the night shift again, following his encounter with a sinister specter on site. As the story goes, the guard was patrolling the historic hallways of the college, now part of Ottawa City Hall, when he spotted a female trespasser dressed in old-fashioned attire exiting the former classroom. When he called out to her, she stared at him dead in the eyes. When he approached, she vanished. Later, looking at the old photos displayed in the building's lobby, the guard recognized the apparition as Eliza Bolton, one of the college's first instructors. Creepy. Our next tour comes courtesy of Kingston, Ontario. Angie, if you watch this, let me know if you've done this before. Haunted Walks Incorporated, the original Haunted Walk of Kingston. As Canada's first capital and home to one of the country's oldest prisons, Kingston, Ontario, is prime territory for paranormal experience. Even the Haunted Walk ticket office at the old Prince George Hotel can boast its own tales of terror. The 1809 hotel is reputedly haunted by Lily Hirschmer, daughter of the original owner, who loved a sailor but was forbidden from fraternizing with him. Undeterred by her father's decree, she'd hang a lantern in her window at night to let her lover know when to visit. But one fateful night, a gust of wind blew the flames into her room, causing a tragic fire that killed lovesick Lily, whose ghost has since slammed doors, locked rooms, and fiddled with radios as she mourns her lost chance at love. Crazy. This next one comes courtesy in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Tattle Tours, a ghost walk of historic Halifax. Between victims of the Titanic, casualties of the 1917 Halifax explosion, and fallen soldiers from the Revolutionary Wars, Halifax plays host to a slew of historic hauntings. If you're brave enough to join the Tattle Tours evocative evening ghost tour, you'll tread in the footsteps of some of the most terrifying. At the old burying ground, a historic cemetery dating back to 1794, you'll find the grave of Major General Robert Ross, who led the charge that burned Washington in the War of 1812. Since he did not successfully complete his mission, Ross's relentless spirit has been seen to stalk the cemetery at night, sword drawn in readiness for the next battle. Chilling, I tell you. On to spot number 7, which comes courtesy of Montreal, Quebec. Montreal Ghosts, Ghost Walk, and Dark Encounters. The Ghost Walk and Dark Encounters tour divulges the sinister side of old Montreal with tales of charlatans, criminals, witches, and ghosts. Hurrah! Among the most gruesome stories is that of Headless Mary Gallagher, who's renowned as one of the most deranged spirits to still walk the city's cobblestone streets. Axed to death, and then beheaded by a fellow prostitute in a fit of drunken jealousy in 1879, Mary reportedly returns to the site of her murder every 7 years, searching in vain for her severed head. Well, dang. What a way to have your life ended. I just can't even imagine. Number 8 comes courtesy of St. John's, Newfoundland. Haunted Hike, Sinners, and Spirits Tour. I might be down for that. Murder Most Foul, Torrid Trysts, and Duels to the Death are all on the agenda on St. John's Sinners and Spirits Tour. Guides regale guests with the haunted history of Canada's oldest English-founded city, including legend of a kind-hearted longshoreman who's said to haunt Water Street. Tricked by a demon posing as a lost boy, the longshoreman offered to carry the sobbing child home on his shoulders. But block by block, the boy became heavier and heavier until the man could barely walk. Though the longshoreman finally escaped the demon's grip by hurling himself over a bridge, he was never the same after his brush with the paranormal. And it sounds like this tour in particular had halted because of the pandemic. So it says it was supposed to resume operations this year. I have not had a chance to go and look these up as far as they go. If you're enjoying this read through of these top 10 haunted walks, hit that like and subscribe button. And let's get on to the next one. Number 9 is a ghost tour on Niagara on the Lake. Friends of Fort George, Ghost Tours of Fort George. Now there's a tongue twister if there was ever one. Fort George National Historic Site is considered the most haunted place in one of the most haunted towns in Canada, and it's no wonder. The site is the devastating battle during the War of 1812. It's also where a retreating general gave the order to burn Niagara to the ground. Candlelit ghost tours hosted by Friends of Fort George will take you through this foreboding fortress, but it's the back tunnel leading to a lookout tower that will really test your mettle. The trek down the cold and narrow 70-foot long stone passageway is conducted in a thick, oppressive darkness. One tour guide's story of feeling an icy grip coming from the stone wall, resulting in livid bruises, might send you screaming for safety. Okay, I have a longing to go see all these sites. How about you? And our final one for the evening is in Quebec City, in Quebec. Ghost Tours of Quebec, Ghost Tour of Quebec. I'm reading the subtitle, by the way. So if you happen to hear the rattling chains and blood-curdling cries on this ghost tour through the cobblestone streets of Old Quebec, you're not alone. They're likely down to the tortured soul of the notorious witch and murderess La Corriveau, who was executed in 1763. In a practice reserved for the most heinous criminals of the time, La Corriveau's corpse was left on display in an iron cage for 30 days after her demise. Is it just me, or can you imagine the stench that just would have permeated? Though every building is said to have housed her cage has since caught on fire, La Corriveau apparently still has a score to settle, as her spirit continues to terrify unsuspecting citizens of the historic Quartier Petit Champlain. Wow, I definitely have a need to go see all these places. How about you? Did any of them resonate with you? Do you have a favorite place too that you want to check out that's got a ghost tour that didn't get mentioned here in the top 10 Canada's list? I'm thinking of doing one for Denver, Colorado. I didn't realize it has such a rich history of ghosts and hauntings, and the Stanley Hotel, right, from The Shining, is it? Anyways, that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.